Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a fantastic Monday. Sorry for the 1 minute late start. I had a glitch put my video on. But anyway, hope you guys are all doing well. Today I wanted to spend some time just talking about Bitcoin and specifically some altcoins here because Bitcoin is about to make a choice over the next, let's say 24 hours, but realistically it's like 10 to 15 hours. Bitcoin's either going to break down or we're going to have a nice low breakout that probably takes us back up towards like 95 to 100,000 bucks. At this point in time, we definitely are looking a little bit more bearish, but I think tomorrow morning we are going to have a big move, and that's going to be an event I would say you want to be awake for, or at least have some alerts set onto your charts so you guys know what's happening. So before we hop into everything, hey Villa, hey Christian, hope you guys are all doing well. I'm going to give a partial treat to Loki here so he can feel happy about it. He's going to go wander off. Oh no. It's such a small treat, he feels like he deserves something more. Yeah, such a good boy. That should go. Yeah, come here. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. You can see how he's looking at the treat and not me. Yeah. There we go. All right. But hope you guys are all doing well. Let me kick this off with a little bit of coin technical analysis. If you guys watched my video earlier, we were talking about this basic support level here that we've been trying to hold for a while, and you can say successfully. You know, when I'm looking at Bitcoin here, you guys can see support, 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 support. We got a decent amount of support here. However, over the last couple days, as you guys know, we've been having these lower highs, you know, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and right now we're kind of getting pinched between those lower highs and that support level. So one of two things is going to happen here fairly soon, and I think this is where the majority of us start to get really excited, and that is, does Bitcoin decide to break down? In which case it's going to be painful. Let's just be honest. It's not going to be fun. If you guys short the breakdown, I guess you guys can make some good money. I'll let you guys know what I do there. But on the other hand, does Bitcoin hold again and then try to have a breakout? That breakout is what I would personally want to buy in order to get into the market for long. Until then, I think Bitcoin just remains too bearish for me to do too much besides maybe a little bit of day trading. But again, if you've been looking at these 4-hour charts, the day trades you're looking at aren't longs, they're shorts. And if you guys follow the shorts on this one, you guys have been making a decent amount of money, especially on the 15-minute chart and the half an hour chart. So, you know, there's that right now. And hey, the Everlasting Bliss, happy to see you. Yeah, I've been MIA for a little bit here, guys. My ear messed up, and I kind of got sick for a second. My sister's sick, and I've just been, like, going through it. But I'm back to being a little bit better. I wasn't even cooking for a minute, so I got some of those pre-made meals from the internet. They're pretty good. I got myself a whole thing of water right here. Been chugging it all day, so I'm just getting over a bunch of sicknesses and stuff like that, which is never any fun, right? But I figured we could talk for a little bit tonight. Going forward, I should be going back to 1 or 2 streams per day. I will be doing a lot more videos. I will be doing like 1 technical analysis video a day. I'll also be doing some things as far as tutorials. Because it's 2025, I'll do a new Smart Money Concepts tutorial for the channel. I'll do a new trading view tutorial for the channel. Maybe a MACD tutorial, an RSI tutorial, stochastic tutorial. All that good stuff. And I think as time goes on, I'll just be redoing a few of my old ones. And I think that'll kind of work out because I'm just going to have them not designed to go viral, but basically if somebody searches for how to add a moving average onto your trading view chart, I want my video to be there. So I'll be doing a bunch of that stuff, especially with trading view. A lot of you guys have used my tutorials just for specific things. And when I go into the dead and I see what you guys are looking at, a lot of you guys are using it for the screener. We used to use FinViz a lot, but FinViz doesn't really have a good crypto screener, as you guys know. So a lot of you guys have been using TradingView, right, as a screener, which I think is pretty good. My ear was messed up, middle ear infection. No, there was no infection. It was close to an infection, though. Basically, it got very inflamed somehow, and it just, like, it was bad. I had a friend at the lounge. I talked to him because I hadn't been to the lounge in a couple weeks because, again, my ear. I talked to him. He also had something with his ear, except for the pressure got so much that his eardrum actually burst. So, I mean, there's so much stuff going on right now. So, you know, just count the blessings that I have an eardrum, or, you know, things relatively are chill. I haven't been able to trade as much as I've wanted to, so that's been kind of boring. But, you know, just hanging with the family, sisters down, hanging out with friends, you know, things like that. Overall, pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much been my life the last few weeks here. Not as much YouTube stuff as I would have liked, but I have been creating a plan, which I think is going to be doing well here. I'm even going to be doing a weekly update with you guys as far as exchanges. So this will be the exchanges that sponsor me and ones that don't. So we're going to be talking about like a Weeks, a Tatbit, a Binance, a KuCoin, a BitGet possibly, and a few other ones. A Hotcoin maybe, a XT Exchange maybe. I'm not entirely sure. And I'll just be letting you guys know generally, like, hey, are there any new tokens here? Maybe even Coinbase and Crypto.com. Any new tokens that you guys should know about? What else? Any new promos for people that want to sign up to a new exchange? Those aren't really relevant for most people, but sometimes, you know, an exchange says, hey, we're no longer available in the United States and you guys are looking for something. I'm hoping those videos can help you out a little bit more as well. So I'll be doing those weekly, plus tutorials, plus a bunch of other stuff. So I just need to get back into that rhythm here, because I've been just exhausted mentally from all this stuff. Because when I had my ear inflammation, basically my whole right side of the head got inflamed, so I couldn't chew because my jaw was so inflamed I couldn't move it up and down because it was all swollen. So yeah, it was just a shit show. And hey, Trev, happy to see my man. Well, Alt exploded March. It's hard to time it right now because we're basically waiting for Jerome Powell to get his ass off of the chair and say, hey, rate cuts incoming, rate cuts incoming. That must be some virus. I got that as well since a week. Yeah, it could be. I've heard a lot of people having issues with ears, so I don't know what it is. Because it wasn't throat, it wasn't nose, it was ear. I'm like, how the heck did something get in my ear? But apparently stuff happens. Reminds me of actually Prometheus when that little black virus got in there, and I was like, oop. But anyway, right now, let me just kind of break down what I just told you guys here, just so we all know what could happen here on the positive and the negative. So I don't need to like go too deep into this. Stochastic and RSI on the weekly charts are now bearish. Bitcoin is barely holding above support, with the MACD still bullish, but still, you know, slowly steeping over to something of a more of a bearish trend. Right now, monthly is still bullish, which I think is still good. Once that goes, it's all over for us. But even then, you know, this weekly chart here with the 20 to 50 weekly moving averages, typically when we have those death crosses, it's not a good time. I understand new trends happen. We have new money coming in from institutions and stuff, so maybe it's just a little bit of a different pattern. Sorry guys, to get comfortable. I haven't been sitting down in this chair as much. But yeah, so that's some of the stuff happening here. We're trying to hold on to that support. However, on the daily chart, you can still see we're still pretty bearish. Bitcoin looks like it's trying to dump and trying to break down below the support level. It was a resistance level. You guys know that 90,900 level for that old Fibonacci. That was a resistance level. We had a tough time breaking out above it, but when we did, poof, you know, turned into a new level of resistance, and here we are. I told you guys this the last time we talked a few days ago. Until Bitcoin finds a way to break out on this daily chart, it's just not going to be bullish me, or I'm not going to really have a strong reason to buy it. I think small dollar cost averages are plenty at this point. The safer way is always, of course, just do spot, but if you guys want to risk a little bit more, you can always do leverage. But again, it has to be a very small amount, because the 2x 5x leverage can eat you alive if you're holding it for, you know, a few weeks or like, you know, a month or something like that. Excuse me. So that's one thing. Now, go over here to the 4-hour chart very fast. I will just magnetize these 2 points so you guys can see the exact level. All right. Back to the 15 here. Let's drop the MACD and stuff. You can see there was an attempt to pop up earlier today, right? And if I go back over here to market sessions, right? New York was very, very volatile today. Very, very volatile, all the way from the beginning to the middle of the day to the ending of the day. It was just volatile. And of course, everything's slowed down a little bit more now. Perhaps we will see more volatility coming tomorrow morning as well. I heard some news that on the 9th, which is what, 10, 12 days away, something like that. The stock market's going to be closed, yeah, for Jimmy Carter. we'll see if that does anything, but that's still weeks away. But I'm gonna keep tabs on that. A lot of volatility here. One of the reasons I keep on telling you guys day trading is better is because these moves only last for a while. You had a bullish change of character right here. Let's say you bought this off a reversal off support, right? This move only lasted for about like an hour before it really kind of lost steam. If you want to go all the way to the top, maybe 3 hours, but by the time 4 hours roll around, it was already falling back down, which to me means that a lot of what you guys are doing is just small short-term trading, and you're just taking those profits as they come in. That appears to be the best way to go about it. I was hoping that altcoins might make a run here in a little bit, and I'll explain why, but it really depends on if Bitcoin can hold here, hold the support level, and tomorrow morning actually have that breakout. You can see New York time volatility. This was Sunday volatility, not so much volatility Christmas Eve. I can understand why nobody was trading. Volatility, not as much volatility here Thursday. Tokyo had all the volatility a few days ago, actually. Oh, that was Christmas, actually. What was this? Oh, this was just the 27th. What was this? Christmas here, 26th, 26. Okay, never mind. Sorry, that wasn't Christmas. I don't know what my brain thought it was. But yeah, so that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I feel like we're just definitely a little bit more bearish. Can we hold support? This is typically we're going to see people loading up for an opportunity to go higher. I know even Michael Saylor has been buying up more and more crypto at these levels. I trust me, I get it. But as somebody who doesn't have unlimited amounts of money like that guy, I'd rather just continue dollar cost averaging small amounts and waiting for a larger pump. Because if this 4-hour chart is correct and we have an opportunity to break out, I'll buy that breakout. I don't feel like I need to buy in before. Right now Bitcoin's at 92,000 basically, and if we do have a breakout, I'll be buying around $95,000. So I'll be losing out on an opportunity, I would say. But man, we don't know for sure that Bitcoin's going to actually find a way to boom tomorrow and break out. All right. So while all that's happening, and while Bitcoin remains bearish, you have to look at everything else as well. Ethereum holding on to support barely, looking like it might teeter off a cliff as well. The next level of support for Ethereum, if we do break down below this Fibonacci level, is going to be this order block, and I would say the 200 daily moving average, which happens to be around $3,000. I think that $3,000 is going to be at a pretty important level of support. Excuse me. I was hoping that we were going to be able to break out or do something more special, but we had a slight uptick here, and we broke back down. That uptrend was over, and we kind of went back to that sideways avenue. You can even see a sideways or a downtrend here just because of what's been happening the last few days. This slight trend. If we're lucky, we'll be able to see some type of breakout. But again, I'm not really feeling all too confident about buying this stuff until I see a breakout. Those breakouts are really what's going to get me hyped up for a little bit more trading, a little bit more of an aggressive leverage, if you will. Solana right now, I mean, this sucker's been coming down a while. I know we've talked about this already, but it's just continuing to come down. And on top of that, you can see a slight uptrend with Solana that could be broken down tomorrow or the day after as well. So I just would say, guys, with everything being bearish on the daily charts and the weekly charts kind of giving up some momentum here, just make sure you're day trading and be a little bit more careful about swing trading unless you guys are able to move up stop losses and kind of adjust on the fly, because those adjustments are what's going to end up making you money, not simply just buying and holding like you might normally do, because the trends are definitely shifting right now. And that volatility is brutal, right? So let me back up a little bit here. Let's get out of the Fibonacci's and technicals, the oscillators. Dogecoin came back down and went down below resistance, seemed to be below support. That created a new resistance, and now we're just kind of going sideways here. WIF came down all the way and still coming down more. Bonk been coming down from an almost like Solana. Miro's coming down. Baby Doge is coming down. STMX has been coming down. Book of Meme. A lot of stuff has been pretty rough. There's only a few things that I would say that have actually gone up in the last 30 days. I know Jerome Powell kind of fucked us. I will not deny that, because I've been, one of that myself. But I would say Bitcoin generally, we're at the same price we were like all the way back November 19th. I know that's not the best thing to hear, but it's not like the world is ending at this point for this particular token. There are a few tokens that are having some really rough weeks and months. I would say Bitcoin's doing above average, right? There we go. Excuse me. So, what was I going to show you guys? Oh, this. And for this one, I would say let's go over. Anyway, Debbie, happy to see my man. Seattle land's pretty good. Am I still holding my alts? Yes, I'm still holding a lot of my alts. I have a small amount of tokens I would say are leveraged tokens. Those are the higher risk ones. But yeah, I'm basically holding a bunch of my spot. Remember, guys, I sold 7% of my Bitcoin at 80,000. I sold 3% at 91,000. And I sold another 10% for 20% max at 100,000, right? Or 102,000, something like that. So I have been selling my Bitcoin as we've been going up, but overall, I still have a lot of stuff left. Did the 2x MicroStrategy bear ETF this morning? We did see a hedge fund start to open a hedge on MicroStrategy. I think it was a couple weeks ago. It was definitely surprised to see the hedge funds going in there. They said it was a hedge, right? So we'll see how long they want to hold on to it. But MicroStrategy is a lot more volatile than Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin starts going down a little bit, you know MicroStrategy is it's on its way. I think I want to zoom in a tad. Let's go to 250%. Yeah, okay. So, just so you guys can see, year to date, a lot of the stuff is going to be green. That's not the important thing. But the last 30 days, why everybody's getting a little bit more boring with Bitcoin again, is Bitcoin's down about 4 or 5% over the last 30 days. Ethereum is down 10. XRP is up 8. BNB is up 7. Solana is down 20. That is wild. Dogecoin is down 30. ADA is down 20. Tron is up 23. AVAX is down 20, down 20, up 10, down 30, up 18, up 64. This one's been a wild card here. Hedera, Polkadot, you know, Stellar, all these things. Hyperliquid's also been a new one here, kind of booming out of nowhere. So, and BitGet token. I pretty much sold my Bitcoin token around 750 though. No, 730, 730. But again, there still are some tokens making some good moves, but you can see, generally speaking, you know, there's a little bit more red than green. I don't think that's a terrible thing, just because a lot of stuff has boomed up over the last few months. But man, it's always easier when everything is going straight up. What did you say? You know, out of the few lists that we look at here, you know, we look at memes, AI. You know, if you go over to the memes list right now, there we go. You know, Pudgy the Penguin is the only thing really up in the last 30 days. Fart coin, oh my god. I mean, we're chilled in here, I know, but that's up 222%. SPX is up 20. GigaChad's up a little bit here, down 10% today, but overall still fine. Turbo finally made a move, I guess. I don't know. I sold most of my Turbo, my leverage Turbo at least, because that was not a good hold for me. Maybe Dogecoin, that was a big move when I think it got launched on Binance. Godius Maximus, Book of Meme. I don't know this token here actually. AI 116Z. I don't. If I can't pronounce it, I won't buy it. Let's see, anything else? I made some good money off Apu before I sold it. Just a chill guy. This thing was getting pumped like crazy. I'm surprised it's down 64% over the last month. I wonder. It just got on too many exchanges and everybody moved their tokens over and slowly started to sell it. 64% down. Wow. Just a chill guy. I mean, that was a popular meme for a minute. Lo-fi Department of Government Efficiency. Department of Government Efficiency is down about 57% right now as well. Excuse me. Sundog is down about 38%. Retardio's down 48. See, Mira's down 46. Toshi, let's see. Yeah, so you're seeing most meme coins got hit hard. Let me do a second to look at the AI. Wait, is this? Do they have something called AI memes? They do have AI memes. That might be kind of interesting to look at sometime. AI memes would be fun. You made 40x on butthole coins today. Life was a joke. Hey, you know what? You made your money. Tell the joke, you made your money off fart coin, you know what I mean? As long as you know what you're doing, you're going to be fine. So let me see. These are some of the most visited. Interesting. PHA is not a high market cap token. I'm surprised it's being visited as much. You guys know I own some of that. I made a good amount of money actually off of that during the first run of this year back in February, March. Good amount of money off that one. Although it was going up when everything else was going down, so it was a little bit tricky. Render, a little bit pricey for me, but it's still a good token. And then Fetch AI, of course, that kind of makes sense for those. Top gainers, Arcona, Care, and Omax. Interesting. Let's see. So I got to answer this text before I forget. Let me see. So we got Near. Near is pumped up by a lot of Twitter influencers. I don't understand why they pump it up, but they do pump it up. Internet Computer. Isn't it crazy how it's still this high up on the list? That's pretty crazy. Tau, Fetch, Filecoin. Yeah, all these things above $1 billion. I really just, I own them, but I'm just not as excited about them. This one, I haven't bought any of that yet. Looks like I missed the fun though. It's up 60% last month. Rose, Turbo, Grass. Ballin Network. See, I mean, that's up 215% in the last 7 days. I did not know that because I've been sick. Which begs the question. I should probably sell that actually. It's down 20% today. Yeah, I'm gonna sell. I'll sell a chunk of it today. If something like that randomly pops while Bitcoin's down, I typically sell it. Yeah, that's the right thing to do, is to sell it. Yeah, it's just so out of the ordinary. Let's see anything else. TARS, Chain GPT. That's interesting. That one's up a little bit, especially with Marlin or Pond. Human AI Heart, that one's up 65%. Interesting. So I might have to sell off a little bit of my tokens here if they're still popping up this much. The only thing I would say, honestly, guys, is if you see me having a few greens, overall my portfolio is down. Don't assume I'm some expert at this right now, because the majority of my crypto is not in altcoins like this. Like, you know, I probably have like a few $100 invested in it. So a few $100 times a couple 100%. Right. Whereas Bitcoin, you have tens of thousands of dollars. Just a lot different type of perspective right there. RLC, this one is one of my favorites here as well. I wonder if there's any new ones that have a lower market cap though. There's IQ. Maybe I'll pick this up. It's down 21%. You guys know I love those tokens under a penny. Even under a tenth of a penny primarily. Hash, okay. I mean, everything has just been getting hit hard. Victoria, I mean, these are getting to the really low market cap, so a lot of these you might not even be able to buy. If you're lucky, they'll be on like an exchange, like a Weeks or a Crypto.com, something like that, you know. But not many American exchanges will have them. Yeah, we're getting to the tiny ones now. A little bit too much risk here, right? All right, so as far as Bitcoin's concerned, how are we looking right now? I mean, we're still trying to hold on. I'm not going to say it looks great, but we are trying to hold on here. The fact that we actually had some whale come in here earlier today, that could be kind of nice. Now, we did have another whale come in later on through the day. But perhaps, you know, with the power of friendship, we can get Bitcoin back on track. Now, I wanted to see if there was any more news here. Cointelegraph, I think will be fine. Let's see. Hyperliquid rolls out native staking on mainnet. Blockchain Bandit moves 172 million Ethereum after 2 years of dormancy. Why is XRP's price down today? Because Bitcoin's down today. I hate when they say stuff like that because you know the answer is so simple. Oh, this is interesting. So judge pushes CFTC trial with the Gemini to January 21st. The civil case between the U.S. financial regulator and Gemini Trust Company was initially scheduled to go to trial before Donald Trump's inauguration. This means it could be, if Donald Trump's advisors get into their jobs fairly quickly, even if they're recess appointments, they should be able to get this, say, hey, this is not a fair thing. The previous government was wrong. We're going to, retract this lawsuit, something like that. But it goes on to say, a New York judge has delayed the start of a trial in the case between United States Commodity Futures Trading Commission and the Gemini Trust Company, first filed in 2022. And December 30th filing, the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. See, it's always New York. Judge Alvin Helliston pushed the start date of the CFTC versus Gemini civil trial from January 13th to January 21st. That's 1 day, right? No further adjournments will be granted. The delay moves the trial's start date under a new presidential administration, which could affect the CFTC's position on Gemini and other crypto firms. We don't need to read the rest of it, but I think that's pretty good news for Gemini here. Do any of you guys use Gemini? I've maybe had an account with them years ago, perhaps, but I just, it was during the COVID time, so you never really use it all too much, right? Hey Christian, Chill Guy is down because the guy who owns it, the Up, has threatened Up. Has threatened to sue exchanges, so everyone's got bored of it. Oh, interesting. Damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was doing all that type of stuff. He doesn't sound like a very chill guy to me. They found out that they plagiarized Chill Guy. I did see some Twitter post on that one. I did see that. I think it was from an old children's book in Asia, perhaps. I think Asia. Dude, I have a feeling a lot of memes will be obsolete and AI agents will be the thing next year. I mean, memes usually survive everything. AI has been doing fine this cycle as well. I think I've been having some good swings with that. For me, I'm buying everything. And then I'm also I'm buying meme coins. I'm buying AI tokens. Then I'm also buying the AI meme tokens like Turbo. Although Turbo didn't really make me money with my last leverage play with it. It is making me money here. Let's see. Hold on a second here. Why is my phone? My phone's been acting up so much. There you go. Sorry about that. But yeah, those here. Let me see if I can find out. I think this is new on CoinMarketCap.com actually. Yes, it AI memes. AI memes. Not everybody breaks it down like that. I mean, but there we go. The head of the AI memes, we have Fartcoin. Then we got Turbo. Zaherbro, Godius Maximus, this whatever that one is. Act 1, the AI Prophecy, Luna by Verticals, or Virtual, excuse me. Dasha, Artificial Liquid Intelligence, You can see there's some green in this category here, a little bit more than others. Again, I mean, actually, well, there's a lot of red in there too. And these ones that are up, you can see the market cap is kind of grayed out, not even there. So let's just assume that's kind of a bad representation of what's happening right now. However, let me see. I mean, something like Koala AI, maybe that's okay. You know, Grok has been around for a while. Memes AI, that could be interesting. It's actually been holding up okay, maybe going a little more flat. But you know, a lot of these tokens, they really aren't at 0.00 something. Even Turbo at this point, it's almost at penny now. There's just not much in this list. But if you go straight to AI tokens, you know, you hop down a little bit. I know we just went through these, but you know, there's enough down here in the hundreds of millions. I feel like I'd be stupid not to own at least a few of them and just put a couple $100 in a few of them. And because, you know, eventually you're going to see them have a pretty nice pop. So, you know, it's more of like, we only have so much money. Where do you want to allocate it? I think AI tokens are great. I think meme tokens are great. But I think right now the best thing to do is just dollar cost average, because you know everything's kind of slowing down. Even the day traders aren't having as much fun right now, right? I have a few friends that day trade for a living, and sorry, I'm making sure Loki's not behind my chair. I have some friends, and you know, that day trade, and they're like, man, there's nothing real fun to do right now. If you're scalping and you're holding for maybe less than like 30 minutes, I think you can get some plays out of this. But for a lot of other people, it's just, you know, it's absolutely rough right now, and just a little more boring. You know, look at that 4-hour chart here. There's been some opportunities, but imagine you're trying to, you know, day trade this nice little push down, and all of a sudden it swings back up on you. It just hasn't been hasn't been nice, easy money. And a lot of the people like me, we like to trade when everything is easy money, because it allows you kind of push the leverage a little bit higher, put more money than you otherwise would have. And of course, the profits kind of reflect that, but you only do it in certain circumstances where historically, when you look back at your own personal trading history, you do very well in these situations. Well, right now, this is not a great time. You're seeing Bitcoin get squeezed, right? Squeeze. Breakout, I'm buying. Breakdown, I'm shorting. But until then, I just, you know, I'm being patient. I'm being very, very patient, because we have some news coming out with Trump's inauguration happening pretty soon. We have the new administration folks coming in, which will be very, very nice. The Fed doesn't really have much news until next month. I would say like a whole 20, 30 days from now, actually. So all we really have to rely on, besides maybe the stock market a little bit here, would be technicals. And the technicals aren't good at this point, right? In the medium term, Bitcoin looks bearish. You go over here to gold, look at the weekly chart. Gold's coming down just like Bitcoin. Dow Jones coming down just like Bitcoin. Nasdaq coming down, but not as bad. SPY coming down, but not as bad. Russell 2000 came down hard. The Fed hates the Russell 2000. Well, the Russell likes low interest rate environment. Dollar index continuing to go higher. The breakout, support, boom, going higher. U.S. oil finding support and going back up. That raises energy costs. That could keep inflation higher for a longer period of time. All types of stuff. I believe, was it UNG? Was it natural gas? Yeah, you can see natural gas popped up a little bit to this level of resistance. Apparently, the East Coast is supposed to have a worse winter this year, which could lead to higher prices of energy. So we're kind of in this weird situation where everybody's like, uh-oh, what do we do? Do we just hold? Or, you know, are we going to buy, sell, yada, yada, yada? Well, if you're like me, we scaled out a lot of stuff over here that we'd been buying over here pre-Trump election night, if you will. And that's fine. I was happy with the returns I was able to make when I was selling around here. I was kind of ticked off, but still happy when I got stopped out of a lot of positions back when, you know, we had those 2 weeks of kind of like, whoa, what's happening here? Kept on going higher. You know, I was thinking about getting back in, but I was like, we're so close to that resistance level. Why not just wait to see if we can have a clear, nice move, right? And then when we had that nice move, Jerome Powell came in and said, hey, we're going to be pausing rate cuts for a minute here because we feel like inflation is too hot. Everything is, you know, happening like that. And so, you know, that's just kind of what happened to now. So, yeah. But yeah, so we're just kind of waiting for Drum Powell to get us back on track. Let me see. You know, no matter where you go, this is a weekly chart. You know, look like Crow, Mudang, Matic, Tron, Caspa, Ocean. You know, we've had a lot of stuff come down, but if you're able to buy during some of those consolidation periods, you should have been able to scale out something. If you guys are new to crypto and haven't been able to buy anything yet, I mean, dollar cost averaging is going to be your best bet, but again, you're going to have to wait a little bit of time. I don't think as long as we had to wait back over here for this entire year, which was just, oh my God, you guys know that was horrible. But we might be looking at a volatile drop before having another big pump. It could be a double bottom, something like that. It's going to be a double top where we have to kind of climb our way back up, or it can turn into a pennant triangle, some type of pattern here. But we're only like the first part of this pattern developing. The daily chart, at least for right now, we do have a little bit of a triangle. We're trying to hold on to the support and break out. But the only way I buy Bitcoin right now, as far as like a swing trade, where I'm holding this for more than 20 hours, 30 hours, we got to break out. That breakout would be glorious if we do. But technical wise, we're looking pretty bearish. Like we want to come back down to like the mid 80,000s range. That's fine, right? I'm still going to be buying at those levels, but you can expect that altcoins are going to have a really big drop if that occurs. Let's see, tax purposes. Yeah, same thing, but let me actually go back a couple. This is daily, this is weekly. And let's go back over to this one. All right, that's December last year. We weren't having too bad for tax harvesting. May, February, January, December. Back over here, this is before the end of the year. This wasn't too bad. I mean, I would say we were recovering from FTX, you know, so FTX, what a crazy time was that, right? You could say that could have been some tax harvesting right there, perhaps. Yeah, man, FTX, what a crisis that was. Of course, December over here, we actually were just pumping up to the moon. So I think Bitcoin can weather the storm a little bit here. I feel like everybody's just really greedy right now in the system. Like this is the stock market and the cryptocurrency market. And Bitcoin is just, it needs to cool off a little bit after having a really nice run over the past month or so. Last couple months, I guess now, since it's like the end of December. You know, we did run up around 60% in just about 49 days. I think it's okay if we cool off a little bit. But I think people are just a little bit more worried about like, hey, how long do we cool off? Are we going to have a cool off? And is that the end of the bull market? Is that what's happening? That type of stuff, right? Because we've made it up to 100,000 bucks. Is that as far as we go? Is the technicals going to break down? You know, I think for now, I'm just going to choose to keep on dollar cost averaging. But again, the majority of what you guys buy is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana anyway. You put a few bucks into altcoins because that few bucks adds up to maybe like a 50 bucks an average, 100 bucks an average, whatever you feel comfortable with there at the end of the day. But let's just hope that we can see Bitcoin not break down here tonight and actually have that larger move. Because that larger move could really give a lot of hope to bulls who want to buy in, but we're basically just on the sideline saying, are we going to break down or can I buy, you know, once we get closer to this level of resistance? Looking like a 20-day of low market stocks and coins, most likely a takeoff in tax season. Late February pump. At this point, if you were to ask me what's going to happen like in January, February, I'd really say it all depends on what the CPI reports say. Because if we really do have something of like a sharp downturn in inflation, that could be the hope we're looking for to get the Fed to start cutting rates again. I truly believe that rate cuts are a huge part of what makes Bitcoin kind of tick. And if we're not having rate cuts or at least a low rate environment, I just think that makes it that much more difficult for us to actually have those golden experiences where we see like everything going up and going sky high. Now Bitcoin can go up in that type of environment if we're not having rate cuts and stuff like that. But usually that's towards usually that's off of the news that we're no longer hiking, right? Or we're starting to cut. This time we're just pausing after cutting only a few times here, not even much as far as I'm concerned. And hey, CT, happy to see my man. Do I think we recover this week? I'd probably say there's a 40% we recover. 40%. I wouldn't say it's the biggest thing, but I would say there's still a decent chance of it happening. And that's mostly because we could always get some good news here. And you can see what happened on this chart here with Bitcoin above my head. You know? You can see there's still bulls that want to pump this up. It's just that, man, they don't really have as much power as you would think at this moment in time. Imagine only 2 rate cuts for the next 2 years. That's what I'm betting on right now. I really am hoping, and this is a personal preference of mine. This might not be your opinion. I can understand that. I hope that Trump can ally himself with Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, and enough moderates join in the ranks because of that, and they're able to fire Jerome Powell and put somebody in there who's more considerate of the interest rates and what that means for average Americans. Because I don't think the inflationary pressures that Jerome Powell is fighting is really going to be destroyed, if you will, by having higher rates or just keeping rates artificially high like this. The more I think about what Jerome Powell is trying to do, he's just trying to focus on the labor market as a whole and make it so there's more people looking for jobs, so they're worth less when it comes to getting a position. Like, hey, you want $50 an hour, you want $40 an hour, you who haven't had a job for a year, you're gonna do $30 an hour. I want you for $30 an hour. That way the company pays less, which means they kind of save more money. Sure, that person doesn't have as much money to spend, but if they're not spending all that money, that means there's not as much purchasing power, which kind of helps out with inflation and stuff like that. So I hope they can get rid of Jerome Powell. I really do. I thought he was okay at the beginning. Really, pre-COVID, I thought he was doing what he needed to do. But during this inflationary period, he really hasn't shown that he has the what I want to see, right? And again, I am very crypto biased as far as all this is concerned. He could be doing 100 things right, but all the crypto stuff he's doing, that's like all the stuff he's doing that affects my cryptocurrency holdings and the business which I am in, which is in the cryptocurrency business, of course. It's just not the same thing. Just not the same thing at all. But Larry, I am hoping we don't have 2 rate cuts for the next 2 years. I'm hoping we can get 3 to 4 next year at 25 basis points, and I'm hoping to get 2 more in 2026. I feel like the economy is going to have to cool down eventually, especially with all this constraint that he's putting on top of it. Yeah, I think he's going to have to do a little bit more next year than he's talking about. If 92,000 is the bottom for a little bit, where can we head short term? I'm in a little long at 92,000, no biggie. Right now, our support level, I think it's 90,900 or about, that's what I'm looking at here. And then below that, I think the level was around 86,000 bucks as far as I can see for the next week or so, unless Bitcoin really just takes a big dump and shit on itself, But as far as what I can see for the upside of Bitcoin now, it goes back to that 4-hour chart that I posted a few seconds ago, where we're looking at this trend line here. And you can see the resistance levels. You can see what we're trying to do. You can see we're trying to wait for that breakout. If you were to follow this over the next few hours, next day or so, it's kind of around 94,600, 94,700. I think that'd be a reasonable level to actually have a target price. And if as Bitcoin moves up higher and higher, perhaps you can move your stop loss up a little bit as well. But this is definitely the end game for a Bitcoin play here, or the beginning of a really nice one, because again, you can see we're getting squiggled down. We're getting squeeze. We're going to pop up or pop down, and it's going to be pretty for whoever's guessing right. If I was to guess right now, I'd say, like we talked about a few seconds ago, 60-40, 60% chance we come down, 40% chance we go up. But maybe, let me see. Do we have any new news? Jimmy Carter quotes, I could have wiped her right off the map, but he didn't. Let's see. U.S. announces 5.9 billion in military and budget aid to Ukraine. Jesus. MicroStrategy falls. China's factory activity growth misses expectations as experts decry insufficient stimulus measures. Ooh, I mean, yeah. The world has to hope that America has a good economy, because if we have a good economy, we're going to keep on buying shit from around the world. That's why we have such a high deficit, right? We don't make as much stuff here anymore. But if we go into a recession, oh my God, the whole world's going to fall apart. It'll be a nasty one because everybody's so levered up right now because of all this free money, you know, that central banks have been putting out into the system for the last few years. Is it too late to learn crypto? It's never too late to learn crypto, man. Never too late. You do have to spend some time learning the boring parts of like what is Bitcoin, what is blockchain, what is a ledger, what is on-chain data, what is technical analysis. That's a big one right there. How do you how do you day trade? How do you swing trade? How do you long-term invest? But if you like the books or you like YouTube videos, there's tons of different videos out there for you. I even have a few on my channel myself. But yeah, it'll take some time. You got plenty of time right now, though. Bitcoin's going to go up and down. It's going to do its stuff. But if you just take your time, you're going to be fine. We're still in this Bitcoin cryptocurrency revolution at a very early stage. 80K if 89 don't hold, perhaps. I mean, I could see that right now. That'd probably be more of a late January thing if things aren't really going to hold up too well for us. We'd have to have some really bad news. But, everybody is really looking forward to the Trump inauguration. If by chance he mentions Bitcoin or he doesn't mention Bitcoin, we could see possibly some price action off of that. Maybe something happens where one of his crypto-friendly picks gets denied. That can make Bitcoin go down, but if he gets approved, that can make Bitcoin go up. So end of January, rolling into February, I think it's going to be a very fun and volatile time for crypto because there's so many excuses, there's so many catalysts for Bitcoin to go either way. So if you're looking for a prime trading time for day traders out there, right now you're looking at an okay opportunity. Give it a month or two. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a lot of fun because there's just going to be so much news floating around. CNBC is going to be breaking stories. Fox Business is going to be breaking stories. Bloomberg, lots of stories. Even Yahoo News is going to be having tons of stories. And that's the type of stuff we're really looking for, I would say, over the next month or two. But we still have a while to go. We still have a very while to go. Excuse me. All right, but okay, buddy, I'm gonna end the stream right here. My throat's still bugging me a little bit from being sick, and same with my ear. I'm gonna be live tomorrow twice. I think tomorrow I'm gonna do a short 30-minute stream in the middle of the day, and then I'm gonna do an hour-long stream. No, I'll just be doing an hour-long stream in the middle of the day because tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and I have to go to a friend's comedy show to support him, and then I have to go out. So, yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a stream, but it'll be middle of the day. It will not be at night. So just be careful with this right now. I'll be posting like video updates, just not streams, if that makes sense. Because I know that you guys are going to want to see what happens here. But again, I would still say as of this point right now, 60-40. I know people may even say 70-30 or 80-20. But I would still give Bitcoin an opportunity to have one last pump. But if it doesn't happen, we're definitely looking at least 86,000 for the short-term dump. And then from there, we might pop back up a little bit because, again, we're in this downtrend here. And again, if we don't hold that one, yes, we can go down to some of those lower levels. So see you guys a little bit later, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be live again tomorrow, but it's going to be more midday, so get ready for that one.